Hiya, welcome back to Classic Hits Gaming, your home of 80s, 90s and noughties gaming. This is part 22 of my Final Fantasy VII live gameplay. Please sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. Give me a minute as I change the thumbnail of the live stream, and then I will be rocking and rolling. Good afternoon, me Ryder. Did I pronounce your channel name correctly? Welcome to Classic Hits Gaming, my friend. Your home of 80s, 90s and noughties gaming. I have just subscribed to your channel, my friend. Yeah, this is your home of the greatest decades of gaming, 80s, 90s and noughties. And yeah, this is part 22 of my Final Fantasy VII live gameplay. Glad I pronounced your channel name correctly. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for taking the time to join my live stream. It's much appreciated, and I hope that you enjoy. To the sleeping forest, the city of the ancients. Good stuff. I'm glad that you're doing good. I had to go across state for sport, jump, and my body hurt like hell. Well, as you say, no pain, no gain. What kind of sports, if you don't mind me asking? Track and cross country. Ah, that will keep you nice and fit. Nice, man. Nice. So I'd say you're absolutely shattered. I'd say your body feels like it's broken right now, but as I said, no pain, no gain. So, my friend, are you aware of this game, Final Fantasy VII, originally released on the Sony PlayStation back in 1997? It is regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time. 27 years after its original release, it still holds such a special place in so many games across the world. Hence why we have the two reimaginings of this game and CGI movies and different spin-off games. It is a beloved, iconic, legendary JRPG, which really popularized the series in the West as well. So that was a very long question, but yeah, are you aware of this game? very much a bit. I am not that very knowing about that kind of game. That's fine. It is my pleasure to be able to show you this game, to talk about this game from time to time, although my channel, Classic Hits Gaming, I really want to let these games speak for themselves, show for themselves, sound, speak and show for themselves, really. But I will talk a little bit about these games from time to time. So I kind of did that a few minutes ago anyway. It's literally one of the greatest video games of all time. So yeah, this would have been the 7th entry in the Final Fantasy series, but 1 to 6 were on Nintendo hardware, and the series was only really popular in Japan, but 7 went in a completely, not that it went in a different direction, but 7 was a massive turning point for the series in two particular ways. The first way is it was the first Final Fantasy game not to be on Nintendo hardware, because Squaresoft at the time, now known as Square Enix, basically didn't like the fact that Nintendo were sticking to cartridge-based media, whereas companies like Sony went with CD-ROM technology. CD-ROM technology obviously allowed for a lot more space, better audio, stuff like that. So Squaresoft said, no thank you, Nintendo, and they released Final Fantasy VII on Sony PlayStation. Also, as I mentioned, the series was only popular in Japan at the time. So this was the game that really made the series popular in the West. So this game, includes a lot of action cinematics to really appeal to the Western audience. As I mentioned, it's just such a beloved. I'll actually leave on turn-based combat so I can show you the battle system. And yeah, I mean, this game really captivated the hearts of so many gamers for so many years. Again, which is why we have the two reimagined. So this is what the battle system looks like. So you can do basic attacks, like so. And you can also do magic. And you can do really powerful summons as well, but the battle is over for now. The music of the game almost... oh, here we go, we still have time. The music of the game almost entirely mutes your talking. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I might be able to sort that out, actually. Thank you, actually, for actually bringing that to my attention. My dad, actually, who actually joins my live streams, my dad literally joins my live streams, actually pointed that out, actually, to me as well. So sorry about that. I'll actually try to fix that the best way that I possibly can. Thank you so much for actually bringing that to my attention. And hello, Nicole. Welcome to Classic Hits Gaming. I think this is the first time that you joined one of my live streams on my new and approved evolved Classic Hits Gaming. So yeah, welcome to Classic Hits Gaming, my good friend. Your home of the 80s, 90s and noughties of gaming, the three greatest decades of the gaming industry. I have kick-started my new and approved evolved channel with Final Fantasy VII, and this is part 22 of my live gameplay. If anyone has missed any of my Final Fantasy VII live streams, you can check out my playlist, and you can watch any part in your own time. I didn't go very far when I tried this game. You know what? I have never completed this game, so me and you are pretty much on the same boat. This is the furthest I've ever gotten in this game. And I'm actually about to complete this game for the first time. So it's going to be a magical moment, and it's so cool to be able to share that moment on Classic Hits Gaming with all of you lovely people. So how are you doing, by the way? Now I must try to fix the audio in a second. There we go. So I just half everything. I even do less than half actually. 35. That literally, to me, makes no difference. That literally feels exactly the same. Wait a second. I'm going to say 25. Now please let me know if this is still loud or if it's too low. So let me know what the sound is like now compared to my voice. Good. I'm glad you're good. Recently got Helldivers and been playing that a lot the past few days. How are you finding it? Are you enjoying it? So yeah, once again, people, let me know if this is too low or too loud. I'm happy enough with it actually at the moment. I find it just okay actually. This is yeah. It's just right. You know, one of the things that I've really been talking about when playing Final Fantasy VII again is the fact that this iconic game could tell one of the most iconic stories in video game history. So beloved, you know, that it was that we got a CGI movie which acted pretty much as a sequel to the game actually. Many different spin-off games and 2 reimaginings. Such an iconic story, great storytelling, which we've never seen in gaming prior to the release of this game. That story was told without voice acting. Without Keanu Reeves. No offense to Keanu Reeves, I think he's a fantastic actor. Right? It was done without Hollywood actors and, you know, AAA cinematic cutscenes and voice acting. None of that. Just basic dialogue, basic text. You know, because like, you can read a book. You can read The Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, whatever. You can read a book and, my God, you can be immersed in the story of that book, the characters of that book, by simply reading text in the book. You don't need to see so much, see the text, if you know what I mean. You just, yeah, so this game told a fantastic story with text-based dialogue, with no voice acting and no cutscenes. And that story was still so beloved. It captivated people's hearts for years. Are you excited for the new Endless Ocean? I actually have never played Endless Ocean. Our good friend, Purple Slave Productions, actually recommended that game to me yesterday, and he reckons I should play the older games. I'm actually going to track down the older PS1 games, but I've actually never played. Oh, wait a second, I get mixed up now with Endless Ocean is something completely different, isn't it? Is it? Endless Ocean is the Nintendo game, isn't it? Where you're diving in the deep sea and exploring, isn't it? Yeah, I believe I've gotten 2 games completely mixed up. And please, Shamit Ryder, if you are still with us in the live stream, and also Nicole, and anyone else watching, please let me know. Can you hear my lovely voice very clear, or is the game's music and sound effects louder than my voice? Basically, can you hear me and the game well? Please let me know. Okay, so I have the key of the ancients, I think it's called. So we should be good to go in this part of the game. I did indeed. Yeah, that's the next new game I'm waiting for. Yep, sounds good. It sounds like a nice relaxing game, to be quite honest with you. I might give it a go myself, actually. I never played an Endless Ocean game, I don't think. Did I? I actually can't remember, it's been so long. Since, like, I think there was one on the Wii, wasn't there? Or was it an N64 game originally? I completely forget. But it does seem to be like a very relaxing type game. So I might give it a go. I might look into it more. See what it's all about. Wouldn't this guy remind you of a Russian doll? Am I getting it right? You know those dolls where like you can open them, and there's a smaller version of that doll inside each one. So you open one, and there's another one inside there, another one inside there, another one inside, and it gets smaller and smaller each time. Wouldn't this guy remind you of one of them, or is it just me? What music box? He's also a Santa Claus impersonator as well. One thing I also spoke about a lot in my Final Fantasy VII live streams is the connection between 7 and 10, Final Fantasy 7 and 10. And there's lots of different theories, and even confirmed theories from the actual writers of Final Fantasy 7 and 10. The obvious one is the character Shinra in Final Fantasy X2. There's a young kid called Shinra, and he talks about finding unlimited energy in the far plane, which is just. I mean, you think of this guy's name and what he's actually attempting to do, and you put the two together, and you can think of the Shinra company extracting macro energy from the planet. So they're very, very similar. Damien, my friend, welcome to my new and approved, evolved YouTube channel, Classic Hits Gaming. Your home of the greatest decades of gaming. The 80s, 90s and noughties. I kickstarted Classic Hits Gaming with one of the greatest video games of all time. The legendary, iconic JRPG Final Fantasy VII. This game originally released back in 1997 on the Sony PlayStation, and it has captivated the hearts of so many gamers for so many years, over 27 years. This game is loved so much that it has gotten 2 reimaginings so far, CGI movie and different spin-offs. So it's my pleasure to bring you this legendary game to you, my friend, and everyone else. How are you keeping, man? How are things with you? Hope you're doing well, and I hope that you enjoy the live stream. I watched my first WrestleMania. Sorry, I had to do that. Since 10 years. Damn. Saturday and Sunday. Nice one, man. Nice one. Did you enjoy it? What did you think of it? So, there's many different theories as to how 7 and 10 are connected. But I find it interesting that people seem to have their own personal things that they find in these 2 games, 7 and 10, that connects them. One guy that I watch on YouTube reckons that Arius, however you want to call her, is actually like pretty much a summoner, like Yuna. Because the summoner gives their life to protect Spira from sin. That's the ultimate goal of a summoner. And that's pretty much what Yuna was doing during the events of 10. Well, she didn't actually die in the end, but she was originally planning on giving her life to protect the world, basically, which is pretty much what the Crush is actually doing. Which I called her the Crush, Arius and Arius, basically. I must say, I actually really fucking enjoyed it. Storytelling was absolutely insane. Man, I know that you are a wrestling fan at heart, man. You know, and I know that wrestling has changed over the years, and it's went down some pretty fucked up roads. So I am so glad that you have actually enjoyed your first WrestleMania in 10 fucking years, man. I'm delighted for you that you were actually able to enjoy some wrestling for a change. I did see a couple of clips here and there of the show, including The Undertaker showing up to chokeslam The Rock. And it was hilarious to hear Michael Cole saying, "Holy Christ," or something like that. It was just to hear him saying that was probably the funniest part of it, really. But other than that, I haven't really seen anything else of it. But yeah, I'm so glad that you actually enjoyed some wrestling. So a few things about my new and approved Evolve YouTube channel, Damien. You might not hear me talking that much during the game, during these classic games. That is because I feel like I should let these games speak for themselves. Like I feel like these games should should yeah yeah, pretty much like showcase themselves and speak for themselves. But I will, of course, be interacting with all of you lovely people in the live chat. Reading your comments, answering questions, interacting with you. That's not going to change, believe me. But you won't hear me reading the dialogue or talking over scenes or anything like that. But I will, from time to time, be giving some trivia on these games, like I was doing when I was mentioning the connection between 10 and 7. And I'll be kind of highlighting really things that have really made this game so iconic, and stuff like that. But I will, of course, be interacting with all of you people. Don't worry about that. Triple H is the biggest game changer. I mean, he seems to be doing a very good job, Triple H. Don't worry, I've seen the community posts and the rage ones too. So you know the score, so you know what's happening with Classic Hits Gaming. Good stuff. And thank you for supporting Classic Hits Gaming, my friend. I don't know if you've actually heard me saying this before, but what I find fascinating about this game, and something that I think that really makes it so iconic, is the fact that this game has one of the greatest stories ever told in the history of video games, which is why it's so beloved, which is why the game is so beloved, which is why we have 2 reimaginings, which is why we have a CGI movie and all the spin-offs. But there is no voice acting. There's no real full-on cinematic storytelling. There's no Keanu Reeves or Norman Reedus, telling the story of the game. It's literally what you see on the screen. It is text-based. So with no voice acting and no Hollywood actors telling the story, this game had one of the greatest stories ever told. There's a message in there that I won't delve into, but there's a message there. Sometimes you can make one of the greatest video games of all time by going down a simple route. I'm glad you're up to date, man. Good stuff. Yeah, it's called Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which pretty much acted as a sequel to the game. Oh god, when did it release? Released mid-2000s, that kind of time frame, I think. Maybe early 2000, mid-2000. I have it somewhere, but I want to get it again 4G, 4K. So you know how we have the reimaginings of Final Fantasy VII? Well, Classic Hits Gaming has the renamings. I've renamed all of these characters, and I feel like their names match their character. Because I called Cloud Classic because he's classic Cloud. He's the original Cloud. I hope so, because I actually want to track it down if it is. I'd imagine it probably is. Because you can get, really old movies now in 4K. The the fantastic Escape from New York, and the sequel, which is not so fantastic to be honest with you, Escape from LA in 4K. You can get really old movies now in 4K. So I'd imagine they probably do have Advent Children in 4K. I haven't seen it in years, so I would definitely love to be able to sit down and watch that movie again, especially when I complete this game. Which, by the way, as you know yourself, I've never completed this game. This is my first time getting this far into the game, and I'm so close to completing it. So it's exciting to be able to share the final moments of this game with all of you lovely people on Classic Hits Gaming. Yeah, never completed this game. In the 27 years it launched, I have never completed Final Fantasy VII. You see, gamers like myself, when this game released on the PlayStation back in '97, we didn't know what the hell a JRPG was. I mean, we probably thought it was a weapon that you could get in Grand Theft Auto or Resident Evil. So when we got hold of this game, we got our asses kicked by the bosses. We didn't know what we were doing. No, I don't want to speak for everyone, because maybe there were people who were accustomed to JRPGs and probably did play Final Fantasy on the NES and SNES. But overall, Final Fantasy and JRPG games were not that popular in the West. So we didn't have a clue how to play these games. So that's my excuse anyway for not completing Final Fantasy VII. And I'm sticking to it. Oh god. But yeah, it's actually exciting to be able to be on the verge to completing this game. And there's a mobile phone in the game as well, which is actually kind of crazy because this game came out in '97. I know there was more than likely mobile phones back then, but there were big bulky things back then. So it's cutscenes like this that actually attracted the Western audience to the game. Square Soft at the time, they were called, they wanted to they really wanted to appeal to the Western audience. So they knew the Western audience wanted kind of cutscenes like this. I like those little figures. Oh, yeah, don't they look like Russian dolls though? Or doesn't he look like a Russian doll? I actually thought for a moment when I first saw that character, well, not when I first saw that character, but when I saw the character again, after so long, I actually thought that it was actually a throwback to the original N64 version that never actually released because Squaresoft at the time went to a Sony PlayStation because Nintendo wanted to stick with cartridge-based media, and Squaresoft were like, yeah, no, we're going to go with CD-ROM technology because we can fit more content onto the disc and we're going to have better sound. So thank you, Nintendo, but no thank you. But if you actually look at the early prototype of Final Fantasy VII on N64, the characters do kind of look like that character, the floating Russian doll. Now I'm thinking to myself, am I going to Midgar or am I going to the northern continent? I'm sure if I hop back into my airship and have a chat with my party, I'm hoping that at least one of them will be able to tell me where to go. I'm going to show some summons. You can see that I've done a lot of grinding. Probably too much, to be honest with you. I'm going to show you one of the most powerful summons in the game. It takes a bit of time. But this is the PS4 port, so you can actually speed up time. Now it's a port of the original game. It's the exact same game. It's just it's slightly visually improved, and it has quality of life features like being able to speed up time, and you can turn off random battles as well. But it's literally the exact same game. This isn't a reimagining or anything like that. It looked like they were in Midgar. It looked like they returned to Midgar. But I thought that returning to Midgar was part of the side quest, though. I actually thought my game froze. There was a bit of a pause there. My heart. We're just ahead of Midgar. Oh, I'm ready. I am ready to fight weapon. Because I have grinded a lot. Oh, okay, fair enough. Do I have to wait for him to arrive, or... I'll just go straight into Midgar. I think I actually have to get the key before I can fight him. It's like watching Godzilla come towards me. Yeah, I might need the key to Midgar. Yeah, it'll probably be like one of those situations where like it'll be video game logic. Like I'd be thinking myself as the player, like once he reaches land I can approach it and fight it, but the game will be saying, well, fuck you, Johnny. What you actually have to do is get the key and then go to Midgar. And that's just the way it is. Whether you like it or not, pal. That's what's probably going to happen. Basically, you can, I think what it is you can allow him to reach Midgar. Oh, never mind. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was lucky. That was lucky. That was actually lucky. Oh my god. Okay, I definitely need to use my magic better instead of just spamming summons and random magic. I need to start looking at stuff like barriers, magic barriers, de-spells, stuff like that. Because that was close. That was too close for comfort, no, to be honest with you. I did it though. And I think Weapon is like the final boss of the second disc. I believe. I think so anyway. He's definitely one of the main bosses in the game, Weapon. He's literally, he or she, it's literally the planet's weapon, the planet's way of defending itself from harm. Every reactor on Midgar. Yes! Barrier has disappeared. He looks a bit like Butters from South Park. If he had blonde hair, I don't know. I'm just getting like the love child of Butters and Cartman. Cartman. Fatso. Oh God. Wait, is this supposed to be the same guy? He was like Foxy a second ago. No, he's back full on Butters. Oh my God. Ha! Well. It's kind of early in the stream, but I do feel like, considering that I'm actually heading to the final area, they will probably ask me to go and say it anyway. So I'm going to head to the northern cave. Of course, look at this, man. Look at how close I was. Well, I need to seriously have a proper look at these kind of magics. Like, for instance, barrier. Barrier, I think, would be like a basic. I can actually have a better look, actually. So, barrier creates a barrier resistant to physical attacks. So it's pretty basic, you know. So you'll be resistant to basic physical attacks. Then a magical barrier is self-explanatory, resistant to magic attacks. Then you got a full-on reflect. It says can reflect magic spells back up to 4 times. So that's basically is a better version of magical barrier. Now the problem with materia is that some bosses, especially like final bosses, are resilient against these kind of materia magic. Nonetheless, then we have D-barrier, which destroys a function of any barrier. So if they ever see an enemy with a barrier, this will destroy it. Then you have D-spell, makes magic ineffective. That's not going to work. Sudden death on a boss. Then you have wall, which creates a barrier / magic barrier simultaneously. So it's basically both of these together. So if I think if I was ever trying to have a barrier, I think I'd probably use this. But if I wanted to try reflect, then I would also do that. But then there's these two as well. Deep barrier, which gets rid of the enemy's barriers, and these spell. I'm going to study these now, going into the final moments of the game. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I mean, Ice Tree, Ball Tree, Quake Tree, Comet 2, that's pretty straightforward. All that's straightforward. Close magic, straightforward. I mean, you've got Cure Tree, you have Heal Them. This heals unusual status. I might do some more grinding actually, because in my own time, probably tomorrow, because streaming grinding is very repetitive, and you don't need to see that. So I can actually get resist, which I would imagine by looking at the name of it basically means that you are resistant against any type of kind of like alien, basically, which is fantastic, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Fire is pretty straightforward. These are all magic attacks. I mean, these are fantastic. Haste will make your character go faster. Slow will decrease speed of the enemy, or you can completely stop them. But again, these type of magic are also very bosses are very resilient to these type of magic. This guy is a beast. The only magic he has is ultimate, but it's fantastic. But he's more of a summoner kind of guy. So yeah, I think going forward into the final moments of the game, I think I'm definitely going to have to study materia like barrier and reflect and magic like that, because Weapon was able to just like, and I couldn't even use magic. Whatever he did on me, he basically took away my magic. I can't allow that to happen. I won that boss battle by luck, basically. I don't like that. I don't want to win by luck. Because I feel like all my grinding wouldn't really pay off then, you know. Okay, so I'm going to head to the northern cave, which I believe is the start of the third disc. Obviously, you don't have to take out any discs when you're playing the digital version. This is the PS4 port. As I mentioned earlier, it has slight visual improvements and quality of life improvements, like speed, turn off random battles. But it's essentially the exact same game it's the exact same of the original. Let's have a chat actually with the party members, see what they say. I can't believe I actually made it. I made it to the final moments of this game. A chill. Something tells me though it's not going to be as straightforward though. Something will probably happen before we actually get to the northern continent. Where is the northern continent actually? It's been worse. There we go. Midgar. Well, that can wait until the next live stream, I think. I'm still thinking of that key, though. Do you still have to find that key? Or is it part of the side quest? Or do you even return to Midgar at all? Because I looked it up online yesterday. Because I thought that I had to go to Midgar last night. And I didn't. So when I was looking that up online, it just mentioned a side quest. It said returning to Midgar as a side quest. And I will soon find out anyway. In the next live stream. But we are definitely coming towards the final moments of the game anyway, which is great. So now what I'll do though, just for the sake of my my sanity, because I'll be up all night thinking, do I have to get that key? Do I have to get that key? Do I have to get that key? So the game is saved, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Midgar and I'm going to see what happens. Because I kind of want to know in advance before the next live stream. The hell? Look at this guy, learner pilot level 14, limit break. What's that about? That's interesting. Yeah, so let's go to Midgar and see what happens. I really hope I don't have to get that key. Well, it's not the end of the world. I just look up where. I know that I have to go to the Bone Village. But yeah, so let's just see. Oh, here we go. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. The game was saved. That's fine. That's great. So I don't have to go looking for a key or anything like that. So that's going to do it for the live stream, part 22 of my Final Fantasy VII live gameplay. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support for Classic Hits Gaming. And I will see you next time on Classic Hits Gaming. Goodbye. And thanks.